Give Georgetown credit, though. I mean, they handled the game situation about as well as possible with, not calling a timeout. And, obviously there's things we could have done better. But Mulmore got the ball down the floor really quickly and unfortunately took away a game winner from Sam.
This is, again, the Marquette basketball with head coach Steve Wojciechowski. It's senior day. So everybody has to, what do you think of Andrew Rousey? And my answer has always been, there's never a dull moment with Andrew Rousey. I don't know if that fits, but that's my answer.
Well, Andrew was fearless, and that's something that is a great strength of his. He has no fear, and so at certain times of the game where other guys fear can impact them, it doesn't him. The flip side of that is sometimes being fearless can lend itself to be reckless at times, and that's the fine line. But you'd much rather have a guy who's not going to be afraid of the moment than a guy who will be afraid in big moments.
I don't know how anybody, unless they knew more than from the outside, a guy comes from UNC Asheville, and to have the impact that he's had in the time here.
Well, Andrew's had a great college basketball career. I mean, he's a 2,000-point scorer. Now, granted, not all of those were here at Marquette, but, anytime somebody puts that amount of points on the board in college basketball, they've had a hell of a career. He's certainly been an integral part of us continuing to move forward as a program. He was a huge part of our NCAA tournament run last year, and hopefully he'll be a huge part of our NCAA tournament this year. The Big East Sixth Man of the Year. I think he'll be, again, we as coaches, or me, I can't vote for him, but I think he'll be up for honors in the Big East, and he deserves those things. He's had a really good year, and this final stretch where we've played really well, it's come together for him in terms of finding a better balance between being a scorer and a distributor, and our team has been impacted very positively because of that.
Saturday, Creighton at home, and to me it's one of those games where you say, I wish it was being played right now.
To Antigo for Marshfield Tiger girls basketball as the Tigers face Hortonville in a WIAA Division II sectional semifinal. That's up next on AM 1450 WDLB.
It's Marshfield Tigers basketball.
Tiger basketball on WDLB is sponsored by V&H Automotive of Marshfield, Central Wisconsin Landscaping, the Marshfield Tiger Booster Club, Sternweiss & Sons Incorporated, Lynn Dairy, Edward Jones Investments, and Chili Implement. It's Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450.
WDLB.
Good evening and welcome to Antigo, Marshfield Tiger girls basketball tonight on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB, WOSQ.com. This evening, the Marshfield Tiger girls and the Hortonville Polar Bears in a WIAA Division II sectional semifinal. The team that wins this game will face either Onalaska or Menominee in the sectional championship game at Menominee Saturday at 4:30. Tom Uthmeyer producing our broadcast this evening. I'm Gene Delisio. Happy to have you with us for Tiger girls basketball tonight here on WDLB. Well, the Marshfield Tigers with a great effort on Tuesday evening, or last Saturday, winning at home against New London in a Division II regional final in a real defensive struggle, 37-29. The Tigers in that ball game, just 9 of 33 from the floor, just 4 of 17 from three-point range, and Marshfield's top scorer, Meg Bryan, did not score. In fact, Meg only took one shot in that entire ball game, but the Tigers played some great defense in that contest, held a very strong New London ball club to only 29, and won that ball game by 8. Now the Tigers, who are now at 12-12 overall and 5-7 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference, face the Hortonville Ball Club, ranked number 8 in the state in Division II. The Polar Bears are 18-6 heading into this ball game, and they beat Marshfield back in November in the first game of the year for both ball clubs, 63-47 at the Bosun Company Fieldhouse. The Tigers also had Hannah Meverden that night. Hannah had 10 points and 5 rebounds in that game, but Hannah, of course, now sidelined due to a knee injury and will not see action in this ball game this evening. Nonetheless, other Tigers have certainly improved their game during the course of this season, and so the Tigers feel they can play with this Hortonville ball club tonight. It's Marshfield and Hortonville this evening in this WIAA Division II Sectional Semifinal at Sheldon Fieldhouse at Antigo High School. Now we'll get some pregame thoughts from Tiger basketball coach Heidi Michaels following these messages.
For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. From the family at Nasonville Dairy, thank you for watching this presentation of live high school sports. Nasonville Dairy is over 125 years in the making and has been supporting Wisconsin sports for just as long. Nasonville Dairy supports 180 family farms throughout Wisconsin and is committed to supporting local dairy farmers and all the student athletes in central Wisconsin and beyond. NasonvilleDairy.com.
Cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda, Edam, and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
It's Marshfield Tiger basketball this evening here on WDLB. Marshfield facing Hortonville in the WIAA Division II Sectional Semifinal here at Antigo. And Tiger basketball coach Heidi Michaels back with us. First of all, Heidi, congratulations on a regional championship and getting to the sectional. And this must be quite an accomplishment for you, your staff, and your players, considering some of the odds stacked against you this year. But to talk about the perseverance and the job your team has done to get this far.
Well, it is. It's a credit to the kids and how they've really hung in there when things, necessarily didn't go our way, whether it was injuries or whether it was sickness or whether it was just, bad luck in some games. We were in a lot of games that, we felt we had a chance to win and we didn't, whether it was, our doing or just not, playing against a team that was very good in Point or Everest and them, coming up with, more big plays at the end. And, we said the same thing. Our goal was to play the best basketball at the end of the season, and I really felt that we hung in there and they continued to work. And honestly, we talk about that Menominee game going over there and playing against a very quality team and getting a big win and really feeling good about where we were at and excited about heading to the tournaments. And so for us to, and when we lost Hannah, it was another hit, obviously a big one. And the kids really wanted to come out of last weekend. I mean, I think every team does, but more so just because I think everyone kind of just looked at us like, oh, well, they're done for the year, and it just made us work that much harder.
And talk about a very unusual ball game last weekend against New London. Coaches talk about how defense wins games, and boy, you certainly showed that against New London, didn't you? Yeah,
I wouldn't say that it was the most exciting game to watch. It was a testament to our kids, just hanging in there. When we got to halftime and it was 14-14, honestly, I was like, what? The fact that we're tied at 14 and things have gone this poorly on the offensive end, I felt like, okay, we're going to be okay, because it couldn't possibly, go that bad in the second half. And it was close, but it wasn't, the 14. I thought we came out and we just got a little bit of a lead, and that's really what we needed. And we played with that lead, and it wasn't much, and they never went away, but we were able to, get that lead early in that second half and then just kind of persevere and, get stops. We talk all the time about getting stops, and they found a way to get their hands on balls and make the best of it, and we made enough free throws down the stretch.
And Meg only having not only no points, but only one shot the entire ball game, and so other players really stepped up for you last week.
Yeah, and it was, a credit, sometimes kids, when they get in that position, will force, or the other kids will stop playing and they just won't know what to do. And to Meg's credit, she continued to play. She didn't force shots. She, made the pass to the people that were open, and when someone's playing a triangle and 2 or a box and 1, we talk all the time, the hardest shot sometimes to make is the one that's wide open. And, we had shots that they just didn't go that day. And we made enough, and that's all that really mattered. And like you said, I'll credit to our kids. And I was just really, really happy for them last weekend, having come through that weekend.
A tough one tonight against the very good Hortonville ball club. Tell us about this matchup tonight.
Well, Hortonville is probably the team, coming into the year. We played them the first game of the year, and honestly, they kind of just punched us in the face in the first, 10 minutes of that game. And we talked about, okay, let's figure out how to score. Let's figure out how to get stops against them. And really, at the end of that game, I was like, okay, we have room to improve a lot. And I felt we learned a lot in that game. And we said after that game, okay, this is the game that we want to get back to. This is who is going to be in that sectional semifinal. We said it the first game of the season, and it's come to fruition, and we get a second chance at them. And so we're excited to get a chance to play them. They're a very good team, guard and post-oriented. With quality players all around. So we know we have a big job tonight, and it's really going to start on the defensive end.
And Shea Frederick, of course, now
she's just
for tonight's sectional semifinal game between the Marshfield Tigers and Hortonville Polar Bears. Introducing the Marshfield Tigers first, as they will be the designated starter. Number 2 is senior Meg Bryan. Number 3 is freshman Heidi Michaels. Number 22 is senior Corianne Johnson. Number 32 is senior Heidi Michaels. And number 44 is junior Jenna Jacoby. The Tigers are coached by Heidi Michaels. And now for the whole team on the scoreboard, the Hortonville Polar Bears. Number 5 is senior Shea Frederick. Number 12 is sophomore Megan Zerman. Number 13 is sophomore Macy McGlone. Number 15 is senior Lexi Walker. And number 21 is junior Erin Nelson. Tonight, the Tigers are coached by Mr. Dean Willis. Please do practice good sportsmanship at tonight's sectional semifinal game.
Overall and 5-7 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB WOSQ.com. Our producer this evening is Tom Uthmeyer. I'm Gene Delisio. Tigers in black, Hortonville in white. Opening tip goes to Hortonville. Polar Bears in front court to our left. Shea Frederick on the far wing, picked up by Corianne Johnson. Frederick can shoot from anywhere. Pass out top, knocked down, but grabbed by Walter. On the far side, Nelson, a three-point shot, up, around, and in. Three-pointer for Hortonville gets the Polar Bears off to a 3-0 lead. Tiger ball in front court to our right. Corianne Johnson crossing the timeline on the sophomore, Morgan Draheim. Out top, Jacoby down the lane, leans in, baseline Osinski, jump shot up and in. Katie Osinski from 10 feet away. Tigers back to within 1. Hortonville ball. Frederick, a very long three outside the arc. Good. Shea Frederick, and that was about 5 feet beyond the arc. She shoots 40% from three-point range. That gives Hortonville a 4-point lead. Marshfield on the attack in front court to our right. Jenna Jacoby at the high post, rubs off, goes down the lane, leans in, short jumper is blocked, comes out long, it's picked up by Walter. Hortonville ball, Frederick comes to front court. Near side to Draheim, a long two is away, and good. Morgan Draheim, the sophomore, averaging 3 points per game, has scored 5 points in about 1 minute. And Hortonville leads early by 6. Marshfield back down the floor. Meg Bryan on the far wing. Wants a screen, comes back out top of the foul line, near side to Michaels. Maddie back out front, she'll back it out. Johnson on the far sideline. Holds it, can't go to Jacoby down low. Corianne dribbles back out top to Meg Bryan. Jacoby high post, down the lane on Walter. Pulls up, off-balance shot, off the rim and in. Jenna Jacoby for 2, Tigers trail by 4. Hortonville basketball, Frederick way outside the arc. Near side a baseline 3 by Draheim, up and in. Draheim for 3 again, and Coach Michaels wants a timeout as Hortonville has hit 3 threes in the first minute and 40 seconds. Marshfield timeout, Tigers first, 16-13 remaining in the first half, and Hortonville leads this ball game 11-4. Earlier today at the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament at Indianapolis, Rutgers edged Purdue 62-60, and Iowa beat Northwestern 55-45. The third game of the day, Michigan State and Indiana now underway. That will be followed by Penn State and Michigan later this evening. Winners move on to the quarterfinals at Indianapolis on Friday. Wisconsin Badgers were ousted by a loss in the first round yesterday. Tigers down early by 7, back on the attack. Meg Bryan out near the center line. Far side, Corianne Johnson has the basketball, back out front to Jacoby. Jenna holds outside the arc, picked up by Walter, back door to Osinski. Katie comes back outside again, and Meg Bryan has it near the center line. Michaels on the near side, baseline Jacoby, Walter defends her. Out top Johnson, baseline to Bryan, but by her out of bounds. That was tipped, however, by Frederick. Tipped by a Hortonville defender, and so Marshfield retains possession. Inbounding at quarter court, Jacoby on the far side, back to Meg for a three-point try, up and in. Meg Bryan for 3, the 187-3 of Meg's career. Tigers back to within 4. Now it's Hortonville back down the floor. They've not been stopped as of yet. Draheim on the near wing. Far side to Frederick. Drives on Johnson. Pulls up, high post. There's a jumper by McGlone, missed. Tipped in the far corner and tracked down by Corianne Johnson. Marshfield back up the floor, trailing by 4. Corianne comes to front court, picked up by Draheim. Still holds the ball on the near side. Cross court to Meg Bryan. Meg way outside the arc. Surveys the scene, comes back out front with it. The 6'2 Walter out defending her. Now Heidi Michaels on the near side, to the top of the circle. Far side Johnson. Corianne will take a three-point try. That's a bit too hard, and rebounded by McGlone of Hortonville, their fine sophomore. Frederick back to front court. On the drive down the lane is cut off by Johnson. Nelson back out top, and she'll launch another three-point try. Good again. Hortonville now with 4 threes in the first 3.5 minutes. And they're back up by 7. And not only Frederick, she only has 1 of them. It's Marshfield ball, front court to our right. Heidi Michaels outside the arc. Holds it. She's going to lob for Osinski over Katie's head. She tips it out of bounds, and it's going to be Hortonville ball. Katie hit the ball last. The ball goes back to Hortonville. 14:23 remaining, first half. And Hortonville leads 14-7. Good start for the Polar Bears. They come back to front court. Frederick out top to Walter. Draheim back out top to Nelson. Now Frederick deep on the far wing, picked up by Johnson. Can't go inside to Walter. Near side, here's Nelson to the baseline on Bryan. Stopped by Osinski on the switch, and Katie slapped at the ball and may have gotten Nelson on the wrist. Now they're going to call that on Meg. It was Meg who got the wrist. First on Meg. First team foul. Hortonville inbounding, baseline front court. Frederick will throw it in and go baseline to Walter, who drives and cuts the basket for the lay-in. Walter off the inbound pass for 2. And a 9-point lead now for Hortonville. Marshfield back on the attack. Michaels outside the arc. Brings it back out top. Standing dribble on Frederick. Heads for the far side. Gets a screen from Jacoby. Still holds the ball. Now near side to Meg Bryan. Turns. Fires a three-pointer. Offline. And the rebound claimed by McGlone. Ahead to Frederick. Hortonville breaks back to front court. Frederick on the far wing. Can't drive on Johnson. Gets a screen and throws the ball in the far corner. It's knocked loose. Tipped over the baseline out of bounds by Corianne Johnson. We're going to see a Hortonville change here. New player is Haley Wenzel, 5'8" sophomore, averaging 8 points per game. And Draheim is out. Here's a lob in the lane from McGlone. Short jumper off the glass and out and rebounded by Corianne Johnson. Tigers bring the ball back to front court, trailing by 9. Corianne out to the center line, exchanges with Meg Bryan. Right back to Corianne on the far wing. Lobs back to Meg. A bad pass, though, is stolen away by McGlone. She has a run out. She'll drive, lay it up and in. Steal and basket for Macy McGlone. Very athletic, 6'2" sophomore post player. And Hortonville goes up by 11. They play just over 5 minutes. Tigers back on the attack. Johnson near corner. High post Jacoby. Dumps it inside. Osinski open for the lay-in. Osinski from Jacoby. Tigers down by 9. Hortonville to front court. Frederick out top to Walter. Far side, Emily Nilsson. One-on-one with Bryan. Downstairs, McGlone backs in on Osinski, but missed the short jump shot. The rebound to Jacoby. Tigers going to stop there. Now Meg Bryan back to front court. Meg between the circles. Stands out top on Nelson. Far side to Maddie Michaels. Turns, fires a 3. Rims and falls out of there and pulled in by Walter. Here comes Hortonville back up the floor. Frederick on the near side. Gets a screen from Walter and fires a three-point try. Rims out of there, and Meg Bryan flies in for the rebound. Now the Tigers have it back. Front court to Jacoby. Jenna holds on the near sideline. She'll go baseline on Walter. Turned away, pulls up, takes a jumper and misses. Weak side rebound to Meg Bryan. Tigers back out with it. Meg on the far side. Can't get off the 3. Dumps it down to Jacoby, and she's pushed from behind and fouled by Walter. Number 1 on Lexi Walter and the first team foul. Changes coming for the Hortonville Ball Club. Maddie Paul, 6-foot senior, averaging 1.4 points per game, comes in. Along with Lexi Day, 5'8" freshman, averaging 4 points per game. Tigers inbounding, baseline front court. Jacoby baseline to Meg Bryan. Turns, fires the 3 off the rim, over the backboard, out of bounds to Hortonville. 11:50 remaining, first half. Tigers trail 18-9. Tigers now bring in Desiree Weisenberger, 5'11" sophomore, averaging 1.7 per game. She'll come in for Katie Osinski. It's Hortonville ball. They're up by 9. Shea Frederick out front. On the drive, pulls it back outside. Far wing to Haley Wenzel. Near side, Day on the sideline. Goes baseline to Walter. She drops the ball, and Weisenberger collects it. Hortonville turnover there first. Tigers have it back, trailing by 9. Johnson across the timeline. Frederick feinting at her. Corianne holds it out top. Goes high post to Jacoby. Jenna down the lane, gets inside, lays it up and in. Jenna Jacoby for 2. Tigers trail by 7. It's Hortonville back on the attack. Frederick out near the timeline. Defense by Johnson. Gets a screen. Starts to drive at the foul line. Can't back in. Back outside to Wenzel. She'll drive inside. Off-balance shot up and in. Off-balance left-hander by Haley Wenzel goes. And again, Hortonville by 9. They've scored 80 points each of their first 2 playoff games. Meg Bryan across the timeline for Marshfield. Stands out near the timeline. Michaels on the far wing. Holds along the sideline. Still holds the ball. Picked up by Wenzel. Backs it out top of the circle. Bryan far side. Off a screen to the foul line. Backs it out once again. Inside feed. Matt Michaels down low. Goes up and lays it in. Maddie Michaels goes back door for 2. A rare non-3-point attempt by Maddie Michaels. And Marshfield back to within 7. It's Hortonville ball. Frederick out top. Drives on Johnson. Goes down low to Walter and over her head out of bounds. Hortonville turnover. Katie Osinski back in for Marshfield. And Emily Nilsson back in for Hortonville. Frederick gets a rest. 10:15 remaining, first half. Tigers trail 20-13. And now for Marshfield, Katie Johnson. 5'6" sophomore averaging 2 points per game, replaces Corianne Johnson. Tigers on the attack, down by 7. Bryan along the far sideline. High post Jacoby. Jenna holds it, now goes down the lane. Baseline to Osinski. Floats it back out top to Michaels. Bryan on the near side, picked up by Nelson. High post to Jacoby. Jenna on the attack, down the lane, leans in, shot blocked, gets it back, however. Still holds baseline, now goes weak side to Osinski. Katie dribbles back outside with it. Wants some help, goes inside to Katie Johnson. Back outside to Michaels, high post Jacoby will fire a jumper and hit it. Rather awkward looking possession, but Marshfield does get the points. Tigers back to within 5. It's Hortonville back on the attack. Nelson holds out top for Paul. Top of the circle, Wenzel with it. Paul on the far side, outside the arc. Wants a screen, now takes a three-point try. No good, long rebound though, claimed by Paul. Back out top, Nelson again a three, no good. Rebound claimed by McGlone, back up baseline and in, but she walked with the ball. Frederick and Walter back in for Hortonville. And McGlone and Day will leave. Corianne Johnson back in for Marshfield for Heidi Michaels. 9:15 remaining first half. Tigers trail 20-15. WIAA Division II sectional semifinal. Corianne Johnson walks it up for Marshfield. Picked up by Shea Frederick. Far side, Meg Bryan outside the arc. Holds the ball on Emily Nelson. Baseline, Corianne Johnson can't penetrate. Brings it back out top off a screen. Near side, Katie Johnson with it. Dribbles around on the outside. Looks for some help now. That's Corianne near side. Three-pointer up off the rim and out. Tip outside by Jacoby, but grabbed by Frederick. Run out for a Hortonville. Frederick on the far side. Stopped by Corianne Johnson. Can't penetrate. Goes back outside again to Nelson. Inside to Paul. She'll drop the ball. Rolls to the sideline. Out of bounds and last hit by a Hortonville ball player. Hortonville brings in Aliyah Schmidt, 5'7" sophomore, averaging 1.8 per game. Tigers down by 5, 8:25 remaining in the first half. Johnson across the timeline on Frederick. Bounces high post to Jacoby. On the drive down the lane again. Leans in, short jumper blocked, out of bounds, and last hit by Walter. They give the ball to Jen at the high post. She then turns, either passes off or drives down the lane. Heidi Michaels back in for Katie Johnson. That's worked a couple of times for Marshfield tonight. Tigers inbounding baseline front court. Johnson looking outside the arc to Jacoby. Jenna thinks about the shot. Pulls up on the wing, back out top to Bryan. Near side, Michaels holds it. Picked up by Schmidt. Now Johnson, Corianne on the far wing. Defense by Frederick. Bryan on the near side. Nelson defensing her. High post, Osinski turns. Dribbles once. Needs some help. Goes back outside again to Michaels. Maddie top of the circle. Hands back near side to Bryan. Man-to-man defense by Hortonville here. A long defensive stand by the Polar Bears. And here's a whistle away from the ball against Hortonville. Somebody may have been holding Osinski. Hortonville change here. Foul is on Maddie Paul, her first foul. Second team foul. Tigers inbounding baseline front court. Johnson looking, comes into Bryan and off her fingertips out of bounds. Tigers third turnover. McGlone back in for Hortonville for Paul. .7:35 left first half. Tigers down by 5. It's Hortonville ball. Frederick outside the arc, harassed by Johnson to the foul line. Stopped there by Corianne. Comes back outside again. Draheim with the ball. Inside feed to McGlone for the lay-in. McGlone for 2. Hortonville back up by 7. Marshfield back on the attack. Johnson across the line on Draheim. Near side, Michaels outside the arc. She'll drive on Schmidt, turned away. Far side, Jacoby. Near side, Johnson is open for a three-point try, and it's good. Corianne Johnson for 3, her 14th of the year. Tigers within 4. 6:55 left in the first half. Hortonville back on the attack. Frederick directing some traffic out near the timeline. Standing dribble on Johnson. Far side to Nelson. High post McGlone. Swings back outside again. Draheim holds back out to Nelson. She'll drive down the lane. Stop. Draheim baseline, walks with the ball. 4 turnovers for Hortonville. Tigers coming length of the floor. They're back to within 4. Some backcourt pressure here as Johnson starts out. Picked up by Draheim. She'll cross the 10-second line. Far side to Michaels. Back out front. Osinski holds it. Looks to distribute. Dribbles around a couple of times. Now back to Michaels out near the timeline. Maddie on the far wing. Bumping with Draheim. Comes back out top to Johnson once again. Meg Bryan far wing. Nelson defending her. Meg outside the arc. Starts to drive down the lane. Leans in. Off balance shot. Off the glass and in. Tough shot for Meg Bryan, but it falls. And the Tigers down by 2. Here's a long front court pass stolen by Jacoby. And Jenna has a run out. Jacoby down the lane. Pulls up. 10-footer away and off the rim and out and pulled in by Walter. Now here comes Hortonville back up the floor. Frederick on the near side. Stopped by Johnson. Pulls it back out again. Launches a long three-pointer. No good. Rebound to Jacoby. Tigers have a chance to tie. 5:40 left in the first half. Front court Johnson. Corian goes baseline. Gets inside. Lays it up and is fouled. And Corian will get free throws here. Foul is on, I believe, Emily Nelson. No, it's going to be on Macy McGlone, her first foul. Third team foul. Corian Johnson, foul line right, shooting 2. First shot is away and good. 5:38 remaining first half. Marshfield trails 22-21 against this very strong Hortonville ball club. Corian with a second free throw. This one is away and around, and it falls in. And this game is tied at 22. It's Hortonville back on the attack in front court to our right. Frederick out top. Off a screen, drives down the lane, leans in, off balance shot, rolls in, and she's fouled. A Marshfield player had their head turned on a defensive switch. Frederick got around Corian Johnson, and a Marshfield player who was supposed to then pick her up had her back turned, didn't see Frederick coming down the lane for the easy basket. Frederick's free throw is away and good. And so Hortonville goes back up by 3. Hortonville wants a change here. Draheim will leave. And Lexi Day, the freshman, comes back in. 5.5 remaining first half. Tigers down by 3. Marshfield the front court. Meg Bryan will cross on Emily Nelson. Michaels on the far wing, picked up by Frederick. Back out top to Jacoby. Looks back door, and Michaels opened briefly, but Jenna couldn't find her. Now back to Jenna baseline. Gets inside, forcing the shot. Blocked by McGlone, but Jenna comes away with it. Goes back outside to Jacoby. Foul line jumper away, no good. Rebound to McGlone. Hands back to Frederick. 5 minutes left first half. Hortonville by 3 again down the lane. Inside McGlone, wide open for a layup, but she missed it. Gets it back. Blocked from behind by Bryan. Ball's on the floor and picked up by Jacoby. A big block by Meg Bryan on the 6'2", Macy McGlone. After McGlone blew an easy layup. Tiger ball. Michaels on the far wing holds the ball. Johnson top of the circle. Inside Osinski, but over Katie's head out of bounds. Katie opened down low, and Corian threw it a bit too high. Tigers' 4th turnover. 4:35 left first half. Tigers trail 25-22. Here's Hortonville back on the attack. Frederick across the 10-second line. Walks it up on Corian Johnson. Stands out top. High post to Walter. She'll turn. Look inside to McGlone. Go up strong and miss the layup again. And Osinski there to claim the rebound. Then McGlone reaches in, ties her up. Possession stays, though, with Marshfield. Change coming for Hortonville. Emily Wenzel back in, or Haley Wenzel rather back in. And Emily Nelson leaves. Tigers down by 3, 4:20 left in the first half. Tigers on the attack in front court to our right. Meg Bryan out near the center line. Near side to Michaels. Back out front Jacoby. Picked up by Walter. Bryan far wing. Defends quickly by Wenzel. Holds it outside the arc, starts to drive. Goes down the lane, has an opening, leans in, shot blocked, but she was fouled by Walter on the shot. Second foul on Lexi Walter. 4th team foul, puts Meg Bryan on the foul line, where she is a 78% free throw shooter for the year. Meg now sitting at 796 points for her Tiger career. She gets 2 free throws here. And Meg's first try is around, and it falls off. Katie Johnson back in for Heidi Michaels for Marshfield. 3:55 remaining first half. Tigers trail 25-22. One more free throw for Meg Bryan. Shot is away, and it rolls out. Went halfway down and came out, rebounded by McGlone. Hortonville still leads by 3. They're back on the attack. Frederick swings it back near side. Short jumper is missed by Walter. Rebound back up by McGlone and missed, but she was fouled on the floor before the shot. Looks like Katie Johnson on the foul. First on Katie, only the Tigers' second team foul. Osinski back in. Weisenberger leaves the Marshfield lineup. Hortonville inbounding baseline front court. Frederick looking. Was back outside, and Draheim for a three-point try. No good. Rebound fought for. McGlone back up. Off balance, no good, and Bryan there for the rebound. Tigers down by 3, coming back to forecourt. Bryan in backcourt. She'll cross the timeline on Draheim. Katie Johnson on the near wing. Back out top. Bad pass stolen by McGlone. She has a run out. Drives, lays it up and in. That's the second time McGlone has scored on a stolen pass. Tigers now with 5 turnovers. Marshfield down by 5. Johnson across the 10-second line for Marshfield. Katie Johnson on the far wing. Cross-court Bryan on the near side. A long 3 by Meg is offline, and the rebound tipped around and grabbed by Marshfield. Katie Johnson with it. Katie double-teamed, has it stripped loose and stolen by Frederick. And now here comes Hortonville. Lead pass McGlone down the floor, laced up and missed it. And Bryan back for the rebound. McGlone has missed about 3 lay-ins so far tonight. Tigers down by 5, 2:45 left in the first half. Bryan will call timeout. Tigers want a timeout, their second timeout this evening. We have 2:43 remaining in the first half, and our score is Hortonville 27 and Marshfield 22. We'll come back to Antigo and more basketball in just a moment.
Get set for the nicer weather that is sure to come with Central Wisconsin
has been serving
Landscaping.
Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, and Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates, as well as parts and service personnel, are here to serve you 6 days a week. We're your neighborhood quick service experts. We provide all the services your car or truck needs most, including an in-depth vehicle checkup report on every visit. Visit us for friendly service and very competitive pricing. See V&H Automotive today.
The YMCA's for Youth Development. The YMCA is for healthy living. The YMCA is for social responsibility. You belong at the Marshfield Clinic Health System YMCA.
The number 2 doubles team of Emily Weiss and Lauren Weigel, also all-conference honorable mention from the Marshfield Tiger Booster Club. Tigers down by 5, 2:43 left first half. Marshfield ball in front court to our right. Bryan across the 10-second line, near side to Johnson, right back to Meg Bryan. Michaels on the far wing. High post Jacoby. Turns, can't get down the lane, fires a 15-footer, off the line, no good. Rebound to McGlone. Frederick has the ball in front court for Hortonville. Stopped out top by Johnson. She'll back it out near the 10-second line. One-on-one with Corianne. He's back high post to McGlone, near side to Draheim. Can't get a shot off. Frederick on the far wing. A very long 3 is up, and it's no good. Rebound on the floor. A scramble below the basket for the basketball. Comes out long and grabbed by Heidi Michaels. 2 minutes to play first half. Tigers down by 5. Bryan moves into forecourt for Marshfield. Meg surveys the situation here. Man-to-man defense by Hortonville. Johnson on the near side. Corianne holds it. Starts to penetrate. Stopped in the circle. Bryan gets it back on the far wing. Wants a screen from Corianne. Out top again to Jacoby. Jenna holds between the circles. Michaels on the far wing. 90 seconds of the period. Maddie to the top of the circle. Turned away there. Comes near side to Jacoby. Jenna outside the arc. Into Osinski. Rolls to the basket. Short jumper. Up and no good. And the rebound claimed by Frederick. Hortonville has the ball back. Frederick top of the key. Can't drive. Pulls it back outside again. Near side to Draheim. Lexi Day on the far wing holds it. Cross court, Draheim has it back. One-on-one with Jacoby. Frederick top of the circle. Michaels on her tightly. Was back near side. Here's a three-pointer by Day. Up and no good. And the rebound claimed by Meg Bryan, but knocked out of bounds and off of Meg. Emily Nelson back in for Hortonville for Lexi Day. 56 seconds remaining first half. Tigers trail 27-22. Hortonville inbounding, baseline front court, lob for McGlone in the lane. Goes up on Jacoby, but walk with the ball. Tigers forced the turnover. McGlone has missed about 3 lay-ins, has walked a couple of times. She's having a tough time against Marshfield. Final minute first half. Tigers down by 5. Let's see how Marshfield plays it here. Johnson moves to front court. Harassed by Draheim. Starts to attack. And I think we have a foul coming here on Draheim, a reach in. That will be number 1 on Morgan Draheim and the 5th team foul. Tigers inbounding, baseline front court, 41 seconds remaining before halftime. Tigers came back and tied the ball game at 22. Then since then, Hortonville scored 5 straight. Bryan inbounds near side to Corianne Johnson. Harassed by Draheim out top. Lost the dribble, gets it back again. Draheim on her very tightly. Osinski back out top, 30 seconds in the period. 5-point lead for Hortonville. Michaels top of the circle. Near side Johnson with 25. High post Jacoby down the lane. Baseline Michaels. A long 2 is up and in. Heidi Michaels scores it. Tigers down by 3. 15 seconds before halftime. And Frederick walks it up for Hortonville. Crossing with 10. Near side to Wenzel with 6. 5. Cross court pass knocked out of bounds. And Johnson knocks it off of Frederick. Tigers have the ball back with 5.5 seconds left before halftime. Tigers inbounding a 3-quarter court, 5.5 seconds to shoot. Bryan up the floor, front court to Jacoby with 3, 2, 1, down the lane, short jumper, bank, no good, rebound Osinski, and that shot missed as well as time expires, ending the first half of basketball here at Antigo High School. Our coverage of Marshfield Tiger basketball tonight on WDLB, a service of V&H Automotive of Marshfield, Central Wisconsin Landscaping of Marshfield, and the Marshfield Tiger Booster Club. Our halftime score, Hortonville 27 and the Marshfield Tigers 24. We'll come back with our halftime program following these messages.
For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. From the family at Nasonville Dairy, thank you for watching this presentation of live high school sports. Nasonville Dairy is over 125 years in the making and has been supporting Wisconsin sports for just as long. Nasonville Dairy supports 180 family farms throughout Wisconsin and is committed to supporting local dairy farmers and all the student athletes in central Wisconsin and beyond. NasonvilleDairy.com.
Cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parma, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda, Edam, and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
To achieve something important for you or your family. That goal could be a comfortable retirement, college, or protecting your family. But here's the real question. What's important to you? Hi, I'm Randy Gershman, your Marshfield Edward Jones financial advisor. Setting a specific, realistic goal is the first step, and I can help. Contact me today at 715-387-8662. See for yourself how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Marshfield Tiger girls trail this very strong Hortonville ball club here at halftime by 3, 27-24. And I want to remind you once again, the Marshfield Tiger wrestling team in action tomorrow and Saturday at the WIAA team tournament in Madison. Tigers face Stoughton in a first-round match tomorrow at 5:30. Our broadcast begins at 5:15 tomorrow evening on AM 1450 WDLB. And on WDLB-WOSQ.com. Should Marshfield win that match, they would then face Kokona or Mukwonago in the semifinals at 7:30. And that match also would be broadcast on WDLB. If Marshfield loses to Stoughton, they will have the Tiger boys game with Mosinee from Mosinee in the regional semifinals tomorrow at 6:45 on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB-WOSQ.com. Our halftime score here at Antigo is Hortonville 27 and the Marshfield Tigers 24. And back with more from Antigo following these messages.
Are you looking for a subcompact tractor with massive working potential and comfort? That's Kubota's BX80. Haul, mow, dig, plow, all from the comfort of America's best-selling subcompact tractor. Take home a dependable BX80 now with financing as low as 0% APR for up to 84 months, plus great customer instant rebates and a 6-year warranty. Now through March 31st, 2018, see us or go to Kubota USA for more information. Contact Chili Implement Company in Chile today.
Throughout the year, the WIAA and Rural Mutual Insurance seek schools and communities that demonstrate great examples of good sportsmanship. Practicing sportsmanship teaches us to respect everyone, including different generations in our family and our community, our neighbors, and those competing with us in sports. This message from the WIAA and Rural Mutual Insurance Company.
How did Courtesy Auto and Truck Center become one of the largest dealers in the Chippewa Valley? By offering our exclusive low live market prices on every vehicle we sell. You'll know you're getting the area's absolute lowest prices with live market pricing. We monitor competitive websites to offer you the most aggressive prices. New, pre-owned, certified. You'll save with the area's best prices. Save time and money because the live market price is the low market price. At Courtesy Auto and Truck Center in Thorpe, you can count on Courtesy Auto.
You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer. I'm Gene Delisio at Sheldon Fieldhouse in Antigo. Our halftime score, Hortonville 27 and the Marshfield Tigers 24. Our halftime stats, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most. Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. At halftime, Hortonville led by sophomore Morgan Draheim with 8 points. He's averaging 3.2 per game, but has 8 points so far tonight. Shea Frederick, their outstanding all-state guard, was 6 points. Macy McGlone, their very talented 6'2 sophomore post player, also has 6. Emily Nelson, 3. Lexi Walter and Haley Wenzel, each with a basket for 2. Balance on the Marshfield side, Jenna Jacoby, 6 points. And Jenna, with that performance, surpasses 600 for her Tiger career. She's now at 603. Meg Bryan with 5 points. Meg at 796 for her Tiger career. Corianne Johnson also with 5. Katie Osinski and Maddie Michaels each with 4. Tigers 2 of 4 on the foul line. Hortonville 1 of 1. Marshfield has 5 turnovers. Hortonville has 6. Hortonville's biggest lead has been 11. Marshfield has not led. We've had one tie. That was at 22, and no lead changes in this ball game tonight. And Marshfield trailing here at halftime, 27-24. Our halftime stats, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most. Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. At halftime, it's Hortonville 27, Marshfield 24. Back with more from Antigo in just a moment.
It's a brighter birthday when it's filled with flowers from Hefco's. Hi, this is Liz reminding you to send the gift that makes any day brighter, especially birthdays. Order today to deliver a floral celebration and birthday smiles to your favorite birthday girls and boys. Make it extra special by adding balloons or a box of Abdallah's chocolates. Hefco Florals, City Hall Plaza, Marshfield. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, Saturdays, 8 to noon. Hefco's, your florist. We help you celebrate your life.
Hey radio listeners, have you heard the exciting news? Benjamin Moore products are now available at Rice's Capital Carpet. Wow! Yes, you heard that right. Benjamin Moore products are now available at Rice's Capital Carpet. So now when you are looking to freshen up a room with new floor covering and window treatments, Rice's Capital Carpet can help you choose from more than 3,200 colors from Benjamin Moore. Ooh. Stop in today and pick up Benjamin Moore paint, a paint like no other, now in stock at Rice's Capital Carpet.
The Hearing House, make your house a hearing house.
Are you looking for relief from ringing in your ears? Signia Hearing Instruments has pioneered a new breakthrough technology for managing tonal tinnitus. It simply involves being fit with hearing instruments programmed for the specific hearing loss and tinnitus pitch. A filter notch placed at the pitch of the tinnitus is provided through the hearing aid. Take action today to manage your tinnitus and lessen the impact on your life. Call the Hearing House, 715-384-4700.
Marshfield Tigers and Hortonville tonight in this WIAA Division II sectional semifinal. Our coverage of Tiger basketball tonight on WDLB, a service of Sternweiss & Sons and their block division, 400 East Arnold Street in Marshfield. Our halftime score is Hortonville 27 and the Marshfield Tigers 24. Back with the second half of basketball in just a moment.
Winter is still in full swing in central Wisconsin, but you don't have to worry about the cold weather if you have the right gear. Now through March 18th, all in-stock winter apparel from North Face and Smart Wool is 20 to 50% off at the Sports Den. That includes warm-down jackets, insulated snow pants, toasty gloves, and mittens. But if the snow and cold aren't your cup of tea, stop on down for great sale prices on all their indoor exercise equipment like stationary bikes and ellipticals. Hope to see you soon at the Sports Den on Marshfield's sunny south side. Ag Country Farm Credit Services has been serving agriculture and rural communities for nearly 100 years. They offer a wide array of financial products, such as loans and leases for farm operations and real estate financing, rural home loans, crop insurance, tax preparation, and much more. Contact your Marshfield Ag Country Farm Credit Services office in front of the mall on Central Avenue today. Equal opportunity lender and provider.
The WIAA tournaments allows us to recognize the accomplishments of the athletes. I'm Dr. Lori Bentz, along with Dr. Ryan Krickstrom, here at Bentz Chiropractic in Marshfield. We truly appreciate the efforts made by the youngsters who compete in various sports. This message comes your way courtesy of Bentz Chiropractic, 700 East 3rd Street in Marshfield. We're there when you need us.
Hortonville basketball, and here's a long three-pointer by Emily Nelson, no good. Kicks out long to Meg Bryan. Her fifth rebound. Tigers have the ball down by 3 as we start the second half. And now Hortonville with a half-court trap. Meg behind the line needs some help. Lobs across to Maddie Michaels. Tigers do not expect that, but Maddie has it, then drops the ball into the backcourt. It was not tipped away, out of bounds. It's over the half-court line and goes back to Hortonville. Tiger turnover. 30 seconds into the second half. Hortonville leads by 3. Hortonville ball in front court to our right. Shea Frederick down the lane, leans in, goes back outside to Nelson. She'll drive inside, back to Frederick. Baseline 3 is away and good. Only the second 3 for Shea Frederick tonight. But Hortonville now goes back up by 6, and again they extend their defense into backcourt. Johnson up the far sideline, across to Katie Osinski helping out. Comes back outside to Corey Ann, near side to Meg Bryan. Heidi Michaels in the near corner, and she walks with the ball, making a pass outside. 7 Tiger turnovers. That number pretty minimal, actually, but those last 2 coming at inopportune times. Hortonville by 6 as they move back on the attack. Frederick top of the key on Johnson. Gets a screen, lobs up a long 3, and hits that one. Back-to-back threes by Shea Frederick to open the second half, and Hortonville up by 9. Jacoby in backcourt. Lobs backwards to Bryan. Meg still behind the line. Now a long front court pass to Osinski. Katie holds down low. Goes back outside to Bryan. Back to Katie high post. Far side to Johnson. Tiger ball in front court to our left. High post Jacoby. Dumps it downstairs to Osinski. Katie missed the lay-in. Tipped around and claimed by Walter. Tigers was a good scoring chance there. Now we'll run out for Hortonville. Baseline Draheim. Blocked and fouled by Michaels. First foul on Maddie, first team foul. We were tied at 22, then since then, Hortonville with an 11-2 edge. Hortonville inbounding, baseline front court. Inside McGlone, open, lays it in. McGlone scores off the inbound pass just like that. Hortonville up by 11, their biggest lead of the ball game, and Marshfield wants a timeout. Tigers' third timeout, 16-12 remaining in regulation time, and our score is Hortonville 35, Marshfield 24. Wisconsin Badger men's basketball team winning earlier today in the second round of the Big Ten men's basketball tournament. The Badgers beat Maryland 59-54 and now play Michigan State in the quarterfinals in New York City tomorrow at 11 a.m. Our broadcast of that game begins at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on Sports Radio 92.3 FM, WOSQ, and on WDLB, WOSQ.com. Also at the Big Ten tournament today, Michigan beat Iowa 77-71. Well, Hortonville opens the second half with 8 straight points. They lead by 11. They're applying a half-court trap here. Corianne Johnson walks across the timeline. Needs some help. Lobs back outside to Katie Johnson. Katie along the far sideline. High post Jacoby. Jenna down the lane. Pull up 10-footer. Bank. No good. And Walter rebounds for Hortonville. Now the Polar Bears long front court. McGlone behind the defense. Gets inside and lays it in. McGlone, a very good athletic post player, runs the floor very well, and Hortonville now goes up by 13, their biggest lead. They apply that half-court trap again, and pass across the timeline, not out of bounds by McGlone. Tigers retain possession, and they'll inbound near the center line. Pass comes into Johnson behind the half-court line. Corianne facing a trap, lobs across, it's knocked down, and stolen away by Nelson. She'll drive down the floor and lay it in. Steal and basket for Hortonville. They go up by 15. And this half-court trap really bothering the Tigers. Katie Johnson in backcourt across the line to Osinski. Back out top to Corianne Johnson. Katie on the far side. Harassed by Walter. Goes baseline to Bryan. Back near side. Corianne Johnson for 3. No good. Long rebound to Frederick. We played 3 minutes into the second half. It's now Hortonville by 15. Far side Nelson on the drive baseline. Gets inside, lays it in. Easy basket for Emily Nelson. And Hortonville now pulling away. They lead by 17. They are now on a 19-2 run since the ball game was tied. Corianne Johnson rolls across the timeline with a very high dribble, but the officials do not call a palming violation. High post Jacoby. Jenna gets open down low, lays it up, and lays it in. 8 now for Jenna Jacoby. Tigers trail by 15. Long front court pass to McGlone behind the defense for the lay-in, and she's fouled as well. McGlone gets behind the defense for 2. Basket is good. And a Tiger foul on Katie Johnson, her second foul. Second team foul. Michaels back in for Osinski in the Marshfield lineup. And McGlone foul line right attempting a three-point play at DC Everest at halftime. Marathon girls lead Colby 26-21. McGlone's free throw on the way and no good. Ball in the corner and tracked down by Walter. And here's a long 3 by Frederick, up and in. Frederick with 3 threes here in the second half. A 20-point lead now for Hortonville. Katie Johnson behind the timeline. She'll cross. Baseline to Michaels, knocked out of bounds by Day. Change coming for Hortonville, as they want Maddie Paul back in, replacing Lexi Walter. 14-10 left in regulation time, and Hortonville now leads 46-26. Inbound pass to Jacoby, back outside to Johnson. Corianne holds it, high post Jacoby, down the lane, kicks outside once again to Maddie Michaels. Three-pointer up, no good. Long rebound, tracked down by Hortonville. Grabbed by Schmidt. Frederick across the timeline, stopped by Johnson out top. Gets a screen from Paul to the far wing, rolls it inside, the ball knocked down, comes way outside, picked up by Jacoby, then she lost it to Walter, inside to Paul, who lays it in, and she's fouled by Bryan. Basket good by Maddie Paul. Foul on Meg Bryan is her second. Third team foul, and Hortonville now opens up a 22-point lead, and Maddie Paul on the foul line to our right, attempting a three-point play. Paul's foul shot is away and good. Katie Osinski back in for Marshfield. Katie Johnson out. 13:40 remaining. Tigers now trail 49-26. It was a 3-point lead for Hortonville at halftime. Jacoby in backcourt, hands back to Corianne Johnson, across to Osinski. Far side Jacoby. Jenna down the lane, pull up from 10 is away, no good. Rebound to Paul. Hortonville has it back. A 22-2 run for Hortonville to start the second half. Frederick across the timeline on Johnson. Starts to drive. Stopped on the foul line. Far side to Day in the lane. Backdoor to Paul, but by her out of bounds. Hortonville turnover. Lexi Walter back in for Hortonville. And Macy McGlone is out. 13-15 left. Tigers trail 49-26. Hortonville still extends their defense in the backcourt. And Jacoby at the timeline, straddling the timeline. She'll cross and get tripped and fouled. Foul called on Lexi Day, her first foul. Only the first team foul. Tigers inbound at quarter court. Johnson into backcourt, and she'll recross. Harassed by Schmidt out near the center line. Cross court to Bryan. May goes high post to Jacoby. Pulls up. Johnson on the near sideline. Backdoor Osinski. Katie is open and lays it in. Osinski scores it. Tigers down by 21. Hortonville to forecourt. Frederick on the drive down the lane. Dishes into McGlone. A pass knocked down, though, and stolen by Bryan. Hortonville turnover. Bryan harassed in backcourt and now fouled as Paul and Schmidt both defends her. The call is on Alea Schmidt, her first foul, second team foul. Emily Nelson back in for Shea Frederick in the Hortonville lineup. 12:38 to play. Tigers trail 49-28. Hortonville still pressing in backcourt. Jacoby dribbles across the timeline. And ball knocked loose and stolen away from Nelson from behind. Nelson back the other way. Pulls up on the arc. Near side to Wenzel. Downstairs Paul. Layup is missed. Gets it back. Lays it up and in and fouled. Maddie Paul, a 6-foot senior, doesn't play much. But getting some playing time tonight. She gets the basket and draws contact as well. Heidi Michaels on the foul. Maddie's third foul. No, that's Meg Bryan on the foul, her third. Free throw is missed, and the rebound to Katie Osinski. Tigers down by 23. 12:15 to play. Johnson across the timeline, far wing, back out top to Bryan. Michaels on the near side. Bryan back out front once again. She'll hold it. Looks like a 2-3 zone, but very active here by Hortonville. Johnson far wing. She'll drive on Day and gets hooked and fouled. Call on Wenzel here. First on Haley Wenzel, third team foul. And Shea Frederick coming right back in for Hortonville, replacing Lexi Day. Tigers will inbound at quarter court, down by 23 after trailing by 3 at halftime. Johnson in the backcourt to Michaels. Back to Corian along the far sideline. Dribbles around on the far wing. Starts to attack to the circle. Pulls it back out again. Passed far side to Bryan, but right by Meg out of bounds. Tigers had 5 turnovers in the first half. Now 5 in the first 6 minutes and 15 seconds of the second half. Paul is out, and Macy McGlone back in for Hortonville. Polar Bears have the ball, leading by 23. And Frederick back across the 10-second line on Johnson. To the far side. There's a back out top to the free throw line, stopped by Osinski. Out front once again to Wenzel. Nelson downstairs to McGlone. Passes into Walter, and she lays it in. Lexi Walter's second basket. Hortonville by 25. Long front court pass to Osinski, breaks the press. Katie Holds gives back to Johnson, near side to Michaels. Johnson back out top. Michaels gets it right back in the corner. Bounces back out top to Corian once again, facing a double team. High post Osinski, far side to Bryan. Now Jacoby in the circle. Spins at the lane, near side Michaels. Baseline 3 away, no good. Ball in the corner. Osinski after it, but tipped by Walter out of bounds. And last hit by Osinski. Coach Michaels thought that was off of Walter, but the official says no. Hortonville has it back, leading by 25. Frederick across the timeline on Johnson. Gets a screen from Walter. Comes the near side. Grabbed by Nelson. She'll drive on Michaels to the foul line. Down the lane. Stop. Kicks back outside. Here's a three-pointer up and missed by Wenzel. The rebound claimed by Katie Osinski. Michaels front court to Bryan. Back to Maddie out top. Bryan gets it back on the far wing into Osinski. Drives the baseline and has her shot poked away and picked up by McGlone. Now a run out for Frederick. Stopped on the near side by Johnson. Spins in the lane. Comes back near side again to Wenzel. To the foul line, turned away. Far side, Nilsson can't get a shot off. Now she'll pull it back out and give to Walter. Frederick wants to reset. 10 minutes left. Hortonville by 25. Frederick top of the key. Can't drive. Comes back near side again. Wenzel at the free throw line. She'll back it out. Frederick holds the ball. High post to McGlone. She'll drive on Osinski. Lay it up and in. McGlone now with 14. And Hortonville leads by 27. Johnson facing that trap in backcourt, lobs across to Michaels. Back outside again, Osinski. Baseline to Bryan. Cross-court Osinski. Holds top of the key into Jacoby. Jenna pulls up, short jumper off the glass, no good. Rebound claimed by Nelson. Hortonville back to forecourt. Far side, Walter hands back to Frederick for a very long three, good. NBA three for Shea Frederick. She's got 4 threes here in the second half, and Hortonville leads by 30. Marshfield ball. Osinski comes near side to Bryan. Lobs high post to Jacoby. Back outside, Bryan with it. Cross court to Johnson. Corian outside the arc. To Bryan. Inside to Jacoby. Tigers looking for a good shot here. Inside feed. Knocked down and stolen by Walter. She has a one-on-one with Bryan. She'll drive, lay it up and in. Lexi Walter with a steal and basket. And we have a Marshfield timeout. Tigers use their 4th timeout. 8:45 remaining in regulation time, and our score is Hortonville 60, Marshfield 28. Back with more basketball in just a moment.
Are you tired of pressing buttons only to talk to a machine? Then it's time to switch to a local...
For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The YMCA's for Youth Development. The YMCA is for healthy living. The YMCA is for social responsibility.
Contact Quality Roofing on the web at qroof.com or visit them in Marshfield's East Industrial Park.
Tiger ball, Katie Johnson, baseline three is missed. Long rebound, though, to Desi Weisenberger. Back up below the basket, and it rolls out, and the rebound pulled in by McGlone. Hortonville leads it by 32, 8:20 remaining in regulation time. Hortonville ball, Frederick on the near side. And Draheim tries to drive and falls down. She walks with the basketball. Hortonville's 9th turnover. This game was tied at 22 late in the first half. Since then, Hortonville with a 38-6 run. Here's a turnover. Frederick steals a lead pass as a pack for Hortonville. Back out top, Nilsson. Fakes the three, comes to Frederick on the near wing. Starts to penetrate, cut off, lobs inside. McGlone tip loose, gets it back, lays it up and in and fouled. McGlone now with 16. Basket good, the foul is on Weisenberger. Desi's foul, Desi's first, 4th team foul. McGlone foul line right, attempting a 3-point play. Shot is in the air and good. McGlone with 17. Tigers down by 35 after he retired at 22. Marshfield ball. Michaels in backcourt across to Jacoby. Jenna stopped out top, near side to Michaels. 7:45 remaining. Katie Johnson near the center line. Stop there. Goes to Bryan on the far wing. High post Jacoby. Jenna pulls up in the lane. Takes a 10-footer. Hits the rim, no good. Weisenberger rebounds. Forcing it back up off the glass, no good. And tipped to Walter. It's long front court pass. Goes to McGlone behind the defense. Lays it up and missed it, but was fouled by Weisenberger on the shot. Second on Desi. And the 5th team foul. Puts McGlone back on the foul line for 2. Quite a turnaround after Marshfield fought back in the first half and tied the ball game at 22. Been all Hortonville since then. McGlone shooting 2. And her first try is good. 7:25 remaining. And the Tigers trail 64-28. Osinski and Corianne Johnson back in for Michaels and Weisenberger. Macy McGlone with a second free throw. McGlone shoots again and good. McGlone with 19. And Hortonville by 37. Marshfield breaks the press. Bryan to front court. Lobs out top to Johnson. Corianne to the center line. Inside to Osinski. Double team. Comes back out to Bryan. Meg fires a three. Offline. And the rebound to McGlone. Double team, but spins away from traffic. And may have been fouled on the outlet pass. Marshfield foul here. And that should be on Corianne Johnson, I believe. First on Corianne. That's the 7th team foul. And so McGlone on the foul line, shooting a 1 in bonus for Hortonville. And here's her first try. It's good. McGlone with 20 points tonight. She hits the 20-point mark. 20th time this year she scored in double figures. One more for McGlone. And this free throw is away and good. So McGlone with 21. Tigers down by 39. It's Marshfield ball. Jacoby across the line to Osinski. Dribbles out of some traffic. Comes to Bryan on the far wing. Katie Johnson far side. Back out top Bryan. Near side to Johnson. Cross-court feed. Katie Johnson with it. Facing a double team. High post Jacoby. Jenna turns, shoots, and hits it. Jenna Jacoby now with 10. Tigers down by 37 with 6:35 to play. Hortonville back on offense. Frederick out near the timeline, harassed by Jacoby. Near side hits Draheim. She'll attack to the circle. Starts to drive down the lane. Stopped by Johnson. Back out front again to Frederick. Hortonville taking their time. High post McGlone into Walter down low. Goes up and missed it. Tip loose below the basket and out of bounds. And last hit by Walter. Nelson and Schmidt back in for Hortonville. Maddie Michaels back in for Marshfield. 6:10 remaining. Hortonville leads 67-30. Backcourt pressure by Hortonville. They maintain that pressure in backcourt. Johnson lobs ahead to Osinski. Across the line to Jacoby. Baseline to Meg Bryan. Johnson outside the arc. High post to Jacoby. Floats it back out to Michaels. Can't get off the shot. Maddie at the hash mark. Brings it back out front. Harassed by Schmidt. The lob inside for Osinski, but batted out of bounds by Walter. Maddie Paul and Haley Wenzel back in for the Hortonville Ball Club. Walter and Schmidt out. Tigers inbound, baseline front court. Bryan will look inside Osinski. Batted loose. Katie gets it back and lobs it back outside again to Michaels. Maddie drives inside. Short jumper away and it rolls out of there. Osinski rebounds and missed the shot. The rebound pulled in by McGlone. It's Hortonville ball with 5.5 to play. They lead by 37. Nelson to the foul line. Stop there. Back out top again to Wenzel. Nelson on the far side, picked up by Michaels. Man-to-man defense by Marshfield. Pass downstairs to Walter. Hands inside to McGlone, who goes up and lays it in. McGlone with 23, 17 coming in the second half. Hortonville by 39 with 5:05 to play. They maintain that backcourt pressure. Johnson behind the line, comes across to Bryan. Cross-court, Johnson has it back. Baseline to Michaels, turns, three-pointer away, no good. Rebound to McGlone. Ahead to Nelson. Comes back into front court, near side, Wenzel with it. Inside McGlone, goes up on Osinski and missed the lay-in. Rebound down low to Walter, and there's some contact there, and a foul called. Maddie Michaels is there, and she'll get the foul call. Third on Maddie, 8th team foul. Free throws here for Maddie Paul. 1 of 1 tonight, 8 of 13 for the season. Paul's first is up and around and in. 4:42 left. Tigers trail 70-30. Elia Schmidt back in for Macy McGlone, who leaves with 23 points. Officials coming to the scorer's table on a question, but that's answered quickly. And one more free throw for Maddie Paul. Away and around and in. Tigers down by 41 after trailing at halftime by 3. Marshfield on the attack. Johnson between the circles, has an alley. She'll drive down the lane, cut off. Jacoby baseline, back to Corianne down low. Kicks back out to Jacoby. Michaels far wing, now back out front to Bryan. Man-to-man defense by Hortonville. May goes far corner to Osinski. Hannon dribbles around out there on Paul, now goes baseline, leans in, short jumper, no good. Tip to Jacoby, back out Bryan, three-pointer is up and in. Meg Bryan for 3, giving her 799 points in her Tiger career. Tigers down by 38, 4 minutes to play. Hortonville ball. Pass inside, knocked down by Corianne Johnson in the bounds, and Corianne hit it last. Meg Bryan now with 2 threes tonight, 188 for her Tiger career. Trails Caitlin Michaels by, I think, about 16 on that all-time list. Hortonville inbounding in the far corner. Nelson will come into Schmidt. Brings it back out top with 3.5 to play. Nelson has it back. She'll lob up a three-pointer. Good. Emily Nelson for 3. She's got 10 tonight in double figures for the 11th time this year. Hortonville leads by 41. 3:15 to play. Tiger ball. Michaels on the far sideline. Osinski top of the circle. Hands back to Bryan on the near wing. May starts to attack and gets bumped and fouled. Call here on Lexi Day of Hortonville, her second. 4th team foul. Tigers inbounding, baseline front court. And the clock now is running. Inbound pass Jacoby, top of the circle. Baseline Bryan for 3, too hard. Weak side rebound though to Corianne Johnson. Back out to Jacoby. Michaels, baseline to Bryan once again. Meg holds it, starts to attack, pulls it back out again. Inside Jacoby down low. High post to Osinski. Katie fires off the rim and out, and rebounded by Schmidt. Hortonville back down the floor. Schmidt to the near side, stopped by Bryan. Wenzel on the far side to Day. Impressive looking freshman. Near side, here's a 3 by Nelson up and in. Nelson with 3 threes tonight. Hortonville leads by 44. 2:05 to play. Tigers back on the attack. Johnson outside the arc. Corianne starts to drive. It gets bumped and fouled. That's on Elias Schmidt. Her second foul. 5th team foul. And Hortonville brings in several new ball players. Corianne Johnson, Katie Osinski leave the Tiger lineup, along with Meg Bryan. Katie Johnson back in, inbound pass Jacoby. Back out top, Katie Johnson. Far side to Brooklyn Bouchak, who's in the ball game for the Tigers. Jacoby outside to Michaels. 3-pointer by Maddie is offline, rebounded by Hortonville with 1:20 to play. Schmidt baseline for Hortonville, gets inside, short jumper, no good. Rebound tipped outside and goes out of bounds, and last hit by a Hortonville ball player. Out of bounds off of Tatum Hammond. Clock rolling, 60 seconds to play. Tigers down by 44 after trailing at halftime by 3. Michaels moves to front court for the Tigers. Katie Johnson near side. Jacoby back out top. Far side Michaels. Here's a 3-pointer by Maddie. Good. Maddie Michaels for 3, her 27th of the year. Tigers down by 41 with 40 seconds to play. Hortonville ball. Schmidt on the far sideline. Comes to Hanneman on the near wing. Can't penetrate. Back outside again to Morgan Jensema. A lot of outside passing here by Hortonville. Now Schmidt on the drive in the lane, leans in, scoop shot is away and no good. Tipped around, and tie ball called on the rebound. Possession goes to Marshfield. That may about end this one. The clock is running and 10 seconds left. And Hortonville with a big second half will win this one, advance on to the sectional championship game tomorrow evening. Clock winding down, the horn will go off, and a big win for the Hortonville Ball Club in this one tonight. Our coverage of Marshfield Tiger basketball on WDLB, a service of Sternweiss & Sons Incorporated, Lynn Dairy, and Edward Jones Investments. Our final score, Hortonville 77 and the Marshfield Tigers 36. We'll have a full recap on our postgame report in just a moment.
Imagine going through a week without any electricity. It wouldn't be easy, would it? Every hour, every day, we rely on the electricity to power our homes, our businesses, and our schools. Marshfield Utilities, our community-owned, not-for-profit public power utility, delivers reliable, reasonably priced, safe service every hour of every day. It's good for consumers, business, our community, and the nation. Let's celebrate our public power utility.
Winter is still in full swing in central Wisconsin, but you don't have to worry about the cold weather if you have the right gear. Now through March 18th, all in-stock winter apparel from North Face and Smart Wool is 20 to 50% off at the Sports Den. That includes warm-down jackets, insulated snow pants, toasty gloves, and mittens. But if the snow and cold aren't your cup of tea, stop on down for great sale prices on all their indoor exercise equipment like stationary bikes and ellipticals. Hope to see you soon at the Sports Den on Marshfield's sunny south side.
Here's another tooth truth from Dental Clinic of Marshfield.
A bright new smile is a great confidence builder. Repaired, replaced, straightened, and clean teeth can improve overall health. Dental Clinic of Marshfield dentists provide a wide variety of cosmetic options, including orthodontics, porcelain veneers, implants, crowns, bridges, whitening, and more.
Dental Clinic of Marshfield. Dental care for life. Schedule an appointment today at any of their 3 offices in Marshfield, Stratford, or Neelsville. Learn more at dentalclinicofmarshfield.com.
Well, the Marshfield Tiger girls basketball team with a great effort tonight, but they fall short in this one, and Hortonville wins it with a 50-12 edge in the second half. They pull away and win by a final score of 77-36. Hortonville will now face either Menominee or Onalaska in the sectional championship game tomorrow evening. And that game was scheduled for Menominee tomorrow at 4:30. And I guess that's still...
I do believe that game will be played at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that correct? Yeah, Stevens Point. And
all right. You want a mic test? Mic test? Okay.
In Marshfield. Again, Hortonville the winner over Marshfield this evening, 77-36. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger basketball on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Heidi Michaels is our producer this evening. Excuse me, Heidi Michaels is about to join us for our post-game comments. Got a bit ahead of ourselves there. Heidi Michaels probably wishes she was producing tonight after watching that second half, but Tom Uthmeyer actually producing our broadcast this evening. I'm Gene Delisio at Sheldon Fieldhouse in Antigo, where Marshfield loses tonight to Hortonville 77-36. We'll return to Antigo and more of our post-game report following these messages.
The sign. For almost 50 years, Abbey Bank has been providing financial services to local families and businesses. What makes us different? Our partnership with the communities we serve, helping families grow, helping business grow, and celebrating important moments. With new programs and facilities, support for our youth, and help for those most in need. Abbey Bank invests in its communities and gives back locally. With locations in Abbotsford, Appleton, Medford, Wausau, and Weston, we make banking about you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. For more than 50 years, V&H Automotive has been serving Marshfield and central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, and Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates, as well as parts and service personnel, are here to serve you 6 days a week. We're your neighborhood quick service experts. We provide all the services your car or truck needs most, including an in-depth vehicle checkup report on every visit. Visit us for friendly service and very competitive pricing. See V&H Automotive today.
Benjamin Moore products are now available at Rice's Capital Carpet. Yes, you heard that right. Benjamin Moore products are now available at Rice's Capital Carpet. So now when you are looking to freshen up a room with new floor covering and window treatments, Rice's Capital Carpet can help you choose from more than 3,200 colors from Benjamin Moore. Stop in today and pick up Benjamin Moore paint, a paint like no other, now in stock at Rice's Capital Carpet.
Hortonville advancing on tonight in this WIAA Division II Sectional Championship game as the Polar Bears knock off the Marshfield Tigers 77-36. And so Hortonville now faces Menominee or Onalaska in the Sectional Championship game tomorrow at Menominee High School. That game scheduled for 4:30 tomorrow at Menominee. Marshfield Tigers end their season 12-13, the first time they finished a season below 500 since, I believe, Heidi Michaels' first year as Tiger girls basketball coach. Been a long time since the Tigers struggled to a below 500 record, but they were 7-15 Heidi's first year back in 2002 and finished 12-13 this year. Lots of injuries on this ball club. Injuries and illness did in the Tigers this year, and so they fall a bit short of their goal for the year, but still made a great effort and went to the sectional semifinals with this ball club this season. Win goes to Hortonville tonight by a score of 77-36. Let's remind you that we'll have more basketball perhaps tomorrow on WDLB. Again, we have the Marshfield Tiger wrestling team and Stoughton in the Division I team sectional quarterfinals from Madison tomorrow at 5:30. That broadcast 5:15 tomorrow right here on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB-WOSQ.com. Should Marshfield lose that wrestling match tomorrow night, we'll then go to Mosinee for the Tiger boys game with Mosinee in a regional semifinal at 6:45. If Marshfield wins that sectional wrestling match with Stoughton, then we'll follow Marshfield to the team semifinals at 7:15 and bring you some updates on the Tiger boys basketball game tomorrow evening here on WDLB. Once again, Hortonville gets the win tonight over Marshfield, 77-36. Now we'll come back and check the final scoring in tonight's ball game following these words.
This time of year, the roads aren't exactly your truck's friend. So when your truck parts start to fall...
At Nasonville Dairy, thank you for watching this presentation of live high school sports. Nasonville Dairy is over 125 years in the making and has been supporting Wisconsin sports for just as long. Nasonville Dairy supports 180 family farms throughout Wisconsin and is committed to supporting local dairy farmers and all the student athletes in central Wisconsin and beyond. NasonvilleDairy.com.
Cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parma, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda, Edam, and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
The YMCA's for Youth Development. The YMCA is for healthy living. The YMCA is for social responsibility. You belong at the Marshfield Clinic Health System YMCA.
High school sports coverage is brought to you by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan, along with its many affiliated providers, wants to help people live longer, healthier lives. Security Health Plan offers high-quality coverage options for large and small businesses and for individuals and families. Go to securityhealth.org to learn more. Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Security Health Plan is proud to support area high school athletes.
Back here at Antigo High School, Marshfield losing to Hortonville tonight in this Division I sectional semifinal, 77-36. Our post-game stats, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. Hortonville tonight led by their sophomore post player Macy McGlone with 23 points. McGlone had 9 baskets and was 5 of 6 on the foul line. She scored 17 of her 23 in the second half. Shay Frederick, 18 points in this ball game, giving her 1,416 for her career. Frederick had 6 baskets, 5 were threes. She was 1 of 1 on the foul line. She'll play her college basketball next season at Valparaiso. Emily Nelson, 13 points, 5 baskets. 4 of those were, 5 baskets and 3 were threes. Morgan Draheim, 8 points, and those 8 all came in the opening minutes of this ball game. Draheim had 3 baskets, 2 of those were threes. Maddie Paul, 7 points, 2 baskets, 3 of 3 on the foul line. Lexi Walter, 3 baskets for 6. Haley Wenzel, a basket for 2. Lexi Day, Aliyah Schmidt, Duke Wilson, Tatum Hammond, and Morgan Jensema did not score for Hortonville. Marshfield tonight, led by Jenna Jacoby, 10 points on 5 baskets. Meg Bryan, 8 points on 3 baskets, 2 were threes. Meg 0 of 2 on the foul line. Heidi Michaels, 7 points, 3 baskets, 1 was a 3. Katie Osinski, 3 baskets for 6. Corianne Johnson, 5 points, a 3-point basket, and 2 of 2 on the foul line. Katie Johnson, Desiree Weisenberger, and Brooklyn Bouchak played but did not score for Marshfield. Tigers on the foul line tonight, just 2 of 4, and all of that in the first half. And Hortonville on the foul line, 9 of 10. Marshfield with 11 turnovers this evening. Hortonville had 9. Hortonville led at halftime 27-24. In fact, we were tied at 22 late in the first half, but then Hortonville outscored Marshfield in the second half 50-12. Hortonville's biggest lead was 44. Marshfield never led in this ball game. We had no lead changes and 1 tie at 22. Marshfield's top rebounder, Meg Bryan with 5. Katie Osinski and Jenna Jacoby each with 4. Corianne Johnson 3. Desi Weisenberger 2. Maddie Michaels and Katie Johnson each with 1. And the win goes to Hortonville tonight over Marshfield, 77-36. Our post-game stats a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman and Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. And Tiger basketball coach Heidi Michaels now joining us for some post-game comments. And Coach, congratulations on the success your team had this year and the success you had in the first half tonight. But man, after that, things got kind of wild there. Hortonville showing what a great ball club they are in that second half.
For sure. You know, I honestly couldn't be more proud of my kids. They came out and they battled and they sustained through that first flurry that they had. I think they made the first 5 shots and, you know, we just battled. And, you know, honestly, when they came out in that zone, it kind of surprised us. We hadn't seen that, and you know, we obviously didn't deal well with that. And they came down and made so many shots in a row, and that's the kind of club that they are, and they have the capability of putting so many points on the board so fast, and that's exactly what happened.
Certainly is, both in the first half, and you weathered that storm. And tell us about what brought you back. You were down by 11 in the first half and came back and tied the ball game. Yeah,
you know, it's just the way our kids have battled. You know, honestly, you know, getting ready all week, we thought that zone was going to be our better look, and our kids did a good job in the man against them in that first half, just by being gritty, kind of taking what they gave us.
As Jason with the Zaleski Sports Show, we are here post-game. We're talking to Katie Osinski and Meg Bryan here post-game. Season came to an end today. That's probably even overstating it at this point. So the first thing, just congratulations to both of you. Great careers here at Marshfield. A lot to be proud of for sure. Katie, let's just start with you. We'll just talk about the game just a little bit. First half, everything was kind of clicking. You still were down at 3 at halftime. What did Coach say at halftime?
She just said that we need to go back out there and amp our defense up and always get second looks on the offensive boards, because they kept getting second shots, and so we need to keep getting more shots up there.
And then second half, Meg, Hortonville changed pretty much everything. Changed their defense, changed their offense. Just tell me what happened to the team when that change happened.
Well, I don't think we were quite ready for it, but it was tough taking care of the ball, and we've seen it before. It just kind of like frustrated us, but we got shots, but not as many as we wanted to.
I know this may be somewhat difficult to think about now as you played your last game as seniors, but Meg, we'll start with you. 799 career points at Marshfield. That's a big accomplishment, a lot to be proud of. What can you give to the girls that'll be left on the team? What advice can you give them now?
I just want to make sure they know that every time they come out and play on the... You're good.
Yeah, Katie, we'll go to you here. You know, a couple words that really categorize you as a basketball player, as a Tiger. Grit, determination, hustle, all those things. These girls can learn a lot from that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've always, like, when I step out on the court this year, my main goal was to get everyone, like, in the game, like, to lead everyone in the game. And I hope that the girls, like Desi especially, takes after and learns, like, how to fill that post position.
Yeah. Okay. Have fun on the bus ride home. All right. Make good time. I know that you will. I know that you two are some of the best fun makers around. There's no doubt about that. And again, we all really enjoyed watching both of you and the rest of the Tigers during your careers. You'll be missed for more reasons than just this game. So congratulations on great careers and good luck to both your futures.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We'll see if we can grab Coach Michaels here as she makes her way back down. Yeah. Yep. Come on.
Where am I looking?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Steven's right there. Well, probably a lot of the same questions Gene just asked you, so we'll go through them pretty quickly. 27-24 at the half. You probably wish halftime didn't happen.
I know. You know, we talked at half and how good we felt. We felt like we sustained a storm. They made their first 5 shots, I think, and it just felt like we kind of weathered it and we felt good about where we were at. And you know, we dealt well in their man. I thought we defended well in our man, and they came out and switched it up, and we just, you know, it was different than what we were expecting, and they made shots and we didn't. And in a game against the caliber of them, it turns really quickly, and you saw it did.
Yeah, and that was, to me, the biggest difference. And the defensive switches, I mean, that can really throw you off, but they started making all their shots. They didn't miss many. No. I don't have the stats. Gene probably did. But they made a lot of those. What did you tell the girls during timeouts in the second half? How did you get around it?
Well, you know, I just said you got to be sure of your passes. You got to make your passes. Take your time. You know, and it got to a certain point, you know, when you get down, you got to play hard to the end. You know, whatever you have going on, whatever the score is, that doesn't change the way you play. It doesn't change the way you carry yourself. And that's honestly, you know, it turned that fast that you were like, okay, we're gonna have to stay in this for 8-9 minutes and just play as hard as you can. And I thought we got better against the zone, but the damage had been done already. And you know, I told the kids after the game, I'm proud of them. I love this season with them, and it's a great bunch of girls. And it just never, you know, there's one team that ends happy, and this year it's not us. And I'm very proud of them.
It's exactly what I said on my show this week. In each division, there will be one champion. There'll be 5 champions statewide, and that's a very, very small number. You've got to really thread the needle to get to that point, and you know all about that. Message to the seniors.
Thank you. I mean, that's honestly what I said. I said thank you for all your hard work, all the years that they've given. They were such good leaders this year. We dealt with a lot of different things, from injuries to sickness to being back against the wall to tough losses, and they never pointed fingers. And I think that's the one thing that I said to the younger kids, this is the way you carry yourselves when things don't go well. And they just kept battling, and then they put themselves in position to, you know, play for a sectional, and that's a big deal. Last weekend was special for them just because of all the things that they had gone through and being able to persevere and come through with it. So I'm proud of them. It's always hard to end this way. I know they're sad. I'm sad, and it's always hard to end a season, but I'm proud of them.
Sure. You mentioned it, Coach. Regional finals champs, more hardware to hang up back at the school, maybe little consolation on the bus ride home, but that'll sink in over the course of the next few weeks. So appreciate everything. We had a lot of fun watching you this year, a lot of fun covering you, and thanks for everything you've done for us.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. All right, guys, that was it there. Coach Heidi Michaels, and we are done here. 77-36. We wrap things up. Marshfield Tiger girl basketball. We do not wrap things up, though, for live streams. We've got a whole bunch yet planned. Starting tomorrow, a couple live streams tomorrow, and then into Saturday and beyond as we continue to cover girls basketball and boys basketball as they all march their way towards their respective state championships on March 10th and March 17th. So stay tuned for that, guys. Highlights coming tonight on Zaleski Sports Show on Facebook. Until then.